So another big decision beyond do I hire someone is, do I need an office? And this is probably more of an urgent question if you're setting up as a freelancer for the first time. My advice, don't rush into getting an office. You need to spend a moment thinking what an office actually offers you before you rush into getting one. It can be a great place for bringing clients, and that's certainly a huge benefit of having an office. It's also good to have a working environment somewhere separate from your home life where you can concentrate on work. You're looking for somewhere that's free from distractions that you have in home life. You don't want to be worrying about whether you've put the laundry on in the middle of the day. So there needs to be a clear distinction between work and home. A lot of the reasons for having an office can also be done at home. So there is a real option here to work from home, at least initially in your business. For example, although an office is great for bringing clients to, that's not your only option. A lot of clients actually prefer if you make the effort to go to them. So having an office isn't necessarily as beneficial as it first sounds. Secondly, you can save a lot of money from working at home. A lot of money that would have been spent on rent and other bills. And you can spend that money on creating a nice working environment with a great office chair and a good desk and a nice monitor. In a lot of ways, those things are more important than the physical room that you're sitting in. However, if you do have a home office, you need to make sure there is a good isolation between home and work, a good separation. And that could be something as obvious as a big solid door between your office and the rest of the house. You want to keep things quiet. You want a nice, quiet working environment. And if your home doesn't enable that for whatever reason, then by all means, go and rent yourself an office elsewhere. If you are going to have an office at home, you need a good routine that separates your work and home life. I've seen all kinds of different ways of doing this. For example, I know people that at the end of their working day will walk out of their office and they will lock the door so that they're not tempted to go back in later in the night and start working again. I know of other people that make it clear to their family that they're going to the office by actually putting on a pair of shoes, leaving the house, going for a walk, coming back in, going to their office and working all day. And at the end of the day, they repeat that process, taking off their work shoes and putting on their slippers. However, offices are good in certain situations. If you don't have a dedicated place to work from at home that's separate from the family, as I say, get yourself an office. Also, if you're working in a team, you're going to need an office, a place where you can come together and work. But if you do get yourself an office, there are two things to consider. First of all, please avoid a long-term commitment. A lot of people sign up to an office for an extended contract and then their circumstances change. Maybe they hire more people. Maybe they don't need an office anymore. So don't sign a long-term contract, at least not in the early days of your business. There are certainly enough places which allow a month's rolling release on a contract that there is no need to sign a longer-term arrangement. Also, consider the hidden costs. With the office that you hire, there may be all kinds of additional costs that you need to consider. For example, there might be rent or rates that you weren't initially aware of. You might have to pay utility bills for things like internet access, telecommunications. In some situations, you even need to pay money to access a separate meeting room. So, what's the summary here? The summary is having a home office is a good place to start, but as you grow as a business, as you take on more members of staff, you may want to eventually consider getting yourself a permanent office.